Recorded in front of a live studio audience. Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hey y'all, make sure you like the video on your way in. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Drop the yellow heart so I can know that you're here.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hey y'all, hey y'all. How y'all doing? Let me see y'all real quick. What's going on, y'all? What is going on? Let me make sure you guys are liking the video. Like the video on your way in. Drop me some yellow hearts. Let me know that you are here. Because you guys, we got some things to get into. Last night was a lot, y'all. If y'all been following the Ready to Love situation that is going on over here on the YouTube streets, then you will understand that last night was a lot. Okay. Where y'all at? I see eyes, but I don't see comments. Oh, there y'all go. There y'all go. There y'all go. There y'all go. Last night, I got hit with a straight bullet, y'all, and I don't even know. I didn't even say anything. All I said was I wanted to see the decree. That's all I said. I didn't say nothing else. But yeah, they was like, yeah, we gonna come for you. You got there too. Look,
being married. It's not a rebuttal. It's not a rebuttal because it's her story. So now what? Chloe, Ellen, Susie. What now?
The obsession.
Ellen, I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna apologize for her. Because we didn't deserve that, Ellen. We did not deserve that. Susie, you didn't deserve that, Susie. You did not deserve that. Monique, you did not deserve that. Because they was out here just, everybody was getting it. Everybody. Everybody could get it. Because I was sitting there like, I just wanted to see the decree. It's not a rebuttal. It's not a rebuttal. It definitely was a rebuttal. Let's get into it. Okay. So it clearly was a rebuttal. Unfortunately, Jefferi didn't get the chance to give her rebuttal because we got nowhere. Nowhere. Okay. The first time we came in, Jefferi said, I'm going to address it just a little bit because we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on, the shaming of single moms, the shaming of single moms. That's what we were supposed to do. There were a lot of things that Simone said in her performance. Okay? There's a lot of things that she said that we needed to address. But if this wasn't a rebuttal, I don't know what it is. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. This is how I see it. It feels like, I think her name is Reese. And this is no shade, Reese. But it feels like you have that personal problem with Simone. Because at this point, we didn't even need Jefferi there because you wanted to say what you wanted to say regardless. Because we didn't get the chance to hear anything from Jefferi. We definitely didn't clear up anything. The only thing that we addressed was the fact that she is married. According to what Jefferi said, she's married. Anything else? Did I miss something? That's all I heard. I mean, everybody else got called all types of, because this is what we're not doing today. We not doing this today. Like, I feel like it was very personal. Because if I invite somebody on my platform to speak their truth, because the title of the video said, Ready to Love, Jefferi speaks her truth, then I'm going to allow them to speak their truth, not me speak my truth. I feel like it was very personal. And I don't know like what the history or the story is, anything like that. But I'm gonna just say it was low-key disrespectful. You're not gonna rebuttal. You want to talk about, the shaming of single moms. Understood. Jefferi wanted to address some things. Understood. But I feel like if you wanted to address things pertaining to your children, then we should be addressing the things pertaining to your children. Like, what did Simone say about your children that got you upset? Because if we could have started there, this would all make sense. The first question should have been, what did Simone say about your children that made you leave that comment? Because this could have made it all make sense. Because if Simone says something, you got to remember that everybody's not watching all the videos. So if she could have clarified that for us as an audience, then we would have been like, oh, that's crazy. Or nah, it wasn't even that serious. Or I could understand where she's coming from so that we can get a better understanding as the audience, right? But instead, all we got was, don't come for my children. Don't come for my children. And I'm sitting here and I'm only thinking about the response video of what, Simone said. And I'm trying to figure out, where did she come for her children? So now I'm starting to think like, Jefferi, are you making up lies in your head? Because when you said that she said your children were a mistake, did Simone say that? Now, based on what we saw in Simone's response, I didn't hear her say anything about her children being a mistake. I did hear her say, stop having babies with boyfriends. And I feel like that probably is what triggered her. The paternity test and gift is what triggered her. All of that could have been it. But can we address what triggered it? I feel like we have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. We just can't come in and just start saying stuff and not clarifying anything. If I'm going to address something, I'm going to address it head on. This is what was said. This is how I feel about it. I do want to make it very, 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 very clear that I have not watched one video where anybody, not my chat, not Kojo's chat, not Kamisha's chat, nobody was praising the fact that she got a eviction. We all use the eviction as a timeline, and everybody made it very clear that that's what the purpose of that was for. Now, can we all agree or disagree on whether Simone took it too far or not? Absolutely. That's a conversation we can have. I'm not going to fight with you if you feel like she took it too far. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But don't tell somebody, let's go, if you're not ready to go. Let's make that very clear. And no, we don't care if you were or were not married, Jefferi. But when you come on a reality TV show to find love, I feel like that may be one of the details, the small details that we need to know. Don't you think so? I think that we deserve on a reality TV show, when you're dating multiple people, to be transparent about your relationships. I don't know. Maybe we're asking for too much. Because I would want to know if I was dating someone and they was married. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe we're asking for too much. Maybe we're doing too much. But this is the one thing that really had me triggered, y'all, and we're going to break it down, but I just got to get this out the way first because it was bothering me in my spirit, because the whole purpose of this live of Jefferi telling her truth was for her to tell us, was for her to, let us know, what was to basically center around the shaming of single moms. No one shamed her for being a single mom. A lot of the women on the show are single moms. A lot of the women who watch Ready to Love are single moms. So we cannot sit here and say, oh, she was shaming single moms. Or we're the shamers. It's us. No, that never happened. Now, did people say you need to take responsibility for your actions? Absolutely. And let's not act like every time we end up pregnant with our children that those were always planned. No, they weren't. That's why it's called a slip up. It wasn't supposed to happen like that, but it happened. But I think it's very funny. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's very funny. So for you to sit there and say that they were shaming single moms, how do you feel about what you said about Simone? How does that, let's hear it. Because I feel like you can't throw stones like you've been doing and then turn around and hide your hand and then play this whole, I'm the victim card. You with your nice, nasty self.
Or just really, when you don't have anything to say, what do? Talk about a woman's children. Well, you weren't married. You had kids out of wedlock. Stop having children with boyfriends. It's just like statements like that you don't have. And then I'm reading the comments and people are saying, well, she hasn't said anything about your children. These are all clear statements. Calling my children fake, calling my children baggage. And, this is coming from someone that has no kids. So that could be that could be something that she's battling with inside. She doesn't have.
So you go and you say something about her not having kids, and maybe she's battling it, insinuating or trying to project that maybe she has fertility issues. But we're shaming single moms. I'm confused. I am so confused. See, that's the issue that a lot of people have with Jefferi. Jefferi is passive aggressive. This whole live, it was, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. The men want me. I'm better than you. I can't help it. I'm such a nice person that, people just like me, and like the guys just love me, and like you guys are just projecting your own feelings on me, and I'm really just the sweetest person you will ever meet in the whole entire world. No, we gonna stop. We want to stop this right here, and we're not going to do this today. Because just because someone has an opinion does not mean that they are jealous, does not mean that they are hating. You can take their opinion or you can leave it. But you can't go in somebody's comments, someone that you know personally. See, this is what I try to get y'all to understand last time, that this was a personal, they actually sat down, they seen each other, they talked to each other. So when you tell somebody, let's go, don't be sitting there looking crazy when they go. I just don't understand, why are we sitting here? Like, I, for the life of me, you guys, I would respect it. I could respect it so much, because I have no problem with hearing Jefferi out. I have no problem with hearing what she has to say. I have no problem with understanding what triggered her, because naturally we all get triggered by certain things. Yes, maybe she did feel some type of way about, her saying don't have kids with boyfriends. Okay, we could address that. But can we address that regularly? Can we not be yelling at the viewers? Can we not be cursing people out in the comments? Can we not be mad for people actually dropping their opinions in the comment section? Can we give the guests the opportunity to tell her story? Because we didn't get it. And this was a disservice to Jefferi, because we definitely were there to hear what she had to say. Because if we would have started off with, in the video that a lot of you probably did not see, where I made the comment, I said, hey, you know what? She said this about my children, which made me leave this comment, because she's up there saying, I don't even know what warranted all of this. I don't even know what warranted all of this. How do you not know what warranted all of this? You called her disgusting. You told her she wasn't a nice person. You was being passive aggressive by saying, oh, your husband is a nice guy, but you suck. Yeah, you. And then at the end, you wrapped it up and said, let's go. So don't act like, this is what I mean. Don't sit there and act like you don't understand what happened. Don't sit there and act like you don't understand that you went and you said that. There are so many of us on the internet who give our opinions on these shows that we watch based on what we see, right? We always make it very clear, like, based on what we see, this is how I feel about it. Based on what I'm hearing, this is what I think about it. We're never going to get 100% of what's happening. That's clear. That's very clear, which is why everyone's doing their interviews and clearing stuff up, which is more than welcome, more than welcome. If I made an assumption about you, I apologize. I didn't mean it, but this is based on what I saw. Cool. But then you go in and you do the same exact thing that you accused her of doing. And then when she responds to it, now I don't know what warranted it. I think that's funny. I think that's strange. I think that's very strange. So there were a lot of things that I just was sitting here. Honestly, we didn't get to hear Jefferi talk too much. But every time she did talk, it was very condescending. I really feel like I wish we would have gotten, oh, thank you, Mocha Mina, for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Girl, I gotta add you to the group chat. Okay. But I really feel like we have to start taking accountability for our actions. We just have to. Now, last night when we were in Kojo's live, it was kind of made as if Jefferi is married. According to what Seaway said and the thing she pulled up, she said she found the I guess the divorce decree, and they are there is a, like, she did get divorced or whatever the case may be. Okay. So we could debunk that if that's the case. That's cool. But we still didn't hear about everything else. We got nowhere with this. If the sole purpose was to come up there and defend your children, then the children should have been defended. But maybe if we wasn't yelling at the people in the comments and going off on the people and telling them whether or not we care if they're there or not, because we're not their audience, is crazy to me. Whenever you bring up a discussion on your platform, whoever joins in is your audience. Just saying. I have an audience for Ready to Love. I have an audience for Put a Ring on It. I have an audience for Married at First Sight. Doesn't matter how I split them up. They're all my audience. So what did we learn? Oh, we did learn that it doesn't matter. It does not matter what you've done. It does not matter what your character is. The only thing that matters is if you're a Black woman who have children, then we should support you. Doesn't matter if you're dragging other Black women in the process, but if you're a Black woman and you're a single mom, then we should support you. No matter how nasty you are, no matter how much of a show you put on, no matter how you tear down other Black women, no matter how much you try to one up other castmates when you guys are in deliberation. Sip that tea. Because let's not act like everything going around about you is a lie. Let's not do that. I just find it very strange because, like, it's always this, we need to uplift each other. We need to uplift each other. Absolutely. But we also have to take accountability for the things that we do. And the fact that you sit up there and you talk about another woman's ability or maybe capability to have children is beyond me. Or maybe she just didn't want to have children without being married. Could that be it? Because I mean, one of her statements was stop having kids with boyfriends. So maybe that's the path she's going down. Not having kids with boyfriends. Hey, but let's shame her for that. Shame her for that, though. So I'm really just a little bit annoyed because you guys, I never not liked Jefferi. I just always felt like she had a lot going on with herself. But after watching that interview, it kind of just left a nasty taste in my mouth, as far as her character is concerned. Because I try not to take people's TV personality too serious. It's always like 1 week I could like you, 1 week I could not like you, 1 week I could, I think you're funny, and 1 week you did something crazy and it's cool, and then we go on about our business. But the way you set up there on this live really made me feel some type of way, because I think it was very, 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 very like just passive aggressive, and I don't like that. Because if you're gonna do something and you're gonna say something, then just do it. If you're gonna speak your piece, then speak your piece. I'm fine. I think I would have loved it if she would have addressed everything. So the first thing is this: blah 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 blah. We don't know about the paternity test. We don't know. We did address the evictions, but not really. I think that's the only thing she may have taken accountability for. Not like it's something to take accountability for, but I think that may be one of the only things that she actually addressed head on without like sugarcoating around it. You know what I mean? It wasn't a rebuttal. No, it wasn't a rebuttal. It wasn't Jefferi's rebuttal. Because I feel like before I even saw this situation, the last time we was on live and we was, talking about it, we were just like, so how did this happen? And where did this come from? And so if you're going to come out and speak your truth, then that's what I want to hear. I want to hear what do you have to say about the situation? And even if we are going to talk about our children and how you felt like you came too hard for my children, it's very weird that, you would say those comments. Tell us what was said so that everyone can understand. Make us understand. You want to be a victim? Then play the victim card all the way. Girl, start crying so we could feel something. And then the idea of, y'all, why does it matter if I was married? Is beyond me. It's beyond me, because you're on a national TV show. Don't tell me to mind my business when you came on my TV. I didn't sign you up for this. I'm not Dominique's mama. You came on this TV. And everything we talking about got to do with this TV. So I'm going to mind the business that pays me. And unfortunately, you're part of it this week. You're right. The interview kind of flipped my opinion. And that's what I mean. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't know where you stand. And that's perfectly fine if you're still trying to figure it out. But that did not do her any justice whatsoever. At all. The aura around the whole interview was negative. The aura around the whole interview was, I'm better than. The aura around the whole interview was, I'll curse people out. I'll call people out. I think that's very strange. I think that's very, very weird, very strange to sit there and say that people are obsessed with you. No, baby girl, you must not know how Ready to Love works. Let me explain to you. So we watch a season, we review the season. We watch the reviews, we look at the interviews, we follow a little bit of the things that happen behind the scenes. We give our opinions, and then we move on to the next cast. So no one's obsessed with you. Okay, if anyone needs to be obsessed over, it might be Suann. You want to know why? Because Suann is out here being a whole family attorney for Shaquilla Robinson, fighting for justice and peace. That's something to follow after Ready to Love. So don't sit here and think that you're the it girl now. Baby, no. They'll ever get them messed up. It's a season. It's just a season. And this is why I told you guys that I don't like to do a lot of interviews and stuff like that. I'm very particular with people I ask to come onto my channel and stuff like that, because there's a lot of cast members that get these heads as if, you know, they're Janet Jackson now. Like, baby girl, no. It's a season. And then we move on. Like, I just don't understand that. Do we always have to go lower than somebody who has gone low? We don't always have to clap back, is all I'm saying. Miss Bell, I completely understand you. So I do want to tell you that you're absolutely right. Child, my husband is in there working, and I'm trying not to be so loud because y'all know I love to be loud, okay? But I do want to say you're absolutely right. We don't always have to go as low as someone else. But all of us don't think like that, and all of us don't respond like that. Some of us like to go to hell, while others rather take the high road. And however that person decides to handle that situation, I guess it's completely on them. They'll have to deal with whatever comes with that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to sit here and make it seem like, you know, Simone was wrong for her response or Jeffrey was wrong for her comment. They both did what they felt was appropriate for them, but you can't be mad at someone's response to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could be in your feelings and you could rebuttal, and that's fine. But let's not act like we don't know how anything started. I feel like that's where the disconnect comes from, because like I said, we can always agree or not agree that maybe what Simone did was too much, or maybe it wasn't. But the fact of the matter is she did it, and thousands of people saw it. So now we can't act like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Okay, so what y'all was saying, let me see what you're saying. You can't police someone's response. Exactly. You just can't. But I do think that if you're going to give someone a platform to do it, to respond, then we should allow them to do that, so that we can really take away something from this. And we could be having a whole conversation, a whole different conversation. And Jeffries came at Black fathers. She came at the Black fathers? Oh, yeah, she did come at Black fathers in her statement about how, you know, men walk out of their children's life every day, whether they're married or not. And what Simone do? Bring up the stats. I mean, don't make a statement if you don't know the facts. So whether or not her being, that's why I don't want to focus on if she was married or not, because I feel like it kind of has no, at this point, it's kind of one of those things that unless somebody show us a divorce decree or a marriage certificate, then we just gonna have to take it for whatever you want to believe. If you want to believe Simone, believe Simone. If you want to believe Jeffrey, believe Jeffrey. That's all completely up to you, because technically none of us have it in our hand. And none of us have seen it. And if you've seen it, send it to me so I can see it. Okay? Send it to me so I can see it, because I feel like, I know that we don't have anything to prove to anyone, but I think that if we're going to come up there to set the record straight and tell our truth, that we should be able to do that in a way where it leaves no questions left to answer. So first thing that was wrong about this, I was married. I got divorced on this date. Here's my certificate. Did you see it? You saw it? Okay, so you could verify that this is it. I don't need to put it all on the screen, but I have it. Second of all, if I maybe I did have to get a paternity test for my my third child. Why? Because the father didn't want to claim the child. I made that clear on the show that he wasn't there in the delivery room. So now I'm confused why everyone's confused. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a way to go ahead and speak your truth without all the extra dramatics of it all. But Reese saw it, Chloe. So now what? So now what? I was like, whoa, because I didn't. My bad, shorty. Leave my comments to myself. Obviously, you don't want the engagement over here. Okay. So I just feel like, but you want to know something, Mocha? We could have gotten more information, but unfortunately, and I mean this like no shade whatsoever, this interview wasn't really about Jefferi. The interview felt like it was an attack on Simone. Which is fine if that's what they wanted to do, but just be clear about your intentions. Because then we know what we stepping into, and we know what we ready for, and we know what we prepared for. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to say I'm responding, then this a rebuttal, then you expecting all of this. But don't tell me it's not a rebuttal when you literally giving me rebuttal. All right, so let's go see some of the clips on Instagram. Because I'm not going through that whole interview. Hey to Ellie's girl, Delete Cat. What Jefferi's interview? It's on YouTube, Black Women Views. Kimberly reviews. Simone said other castmates told her Jefferi said she got an annulment, and that's true. And read this is what I'm saying. Other castmates said that she got an annulment. She's saying she got a divorce. Child, I don't know. But I've heard that she isn't nice off scene. So let's go ahead and see what Instagram is showing us.
I hope you guys would do the same.
Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Let me know if you guys can.
You know, I first did.
Is this the right
I was prepared to straight up apologize.
Then we started tussling.
If I was wrong. I thought that she had actually been married. But the truth of the matter is.
All right, so we are on Ready to Love 5 page. And these are some of the clips that they were able to pull up for us. So we're going to watch this. We're just going to watch a few of them because, child, not all day. I still got to go finish my deep dive on, what's her name? Dr. Stacy. Hold on. Let me change the angle. Let me put me in a corner. All right. Hey, y'all. Make sure y'all liking the video. All right. So let's go ahead and get into some of the clips and see what's being said. And that's the thing about a deleted account. I feel like if you're going to be a mean girl, own that ish. But don't try to cover it up with niceness. That makes it worse. If you're a nice person, don't nobody have to tell you. You don't have to reassure everyone that you're a nice person. It will come off. It will display itself. Naturally. That's the first red flag to somebody. I'm a nice person. I really am. The sweetest person you'll ever meet. Me. Child. Anyway, let's go.
Did ask her, don't spread information when it involves children. There was that, pre-post given. And what you took with that was, let me dig a little deeper. And you dug so deep that you found yourself on a budget website that now found yourself into publicly releasing false statements about.
Okay. So let's go into this really, really quickly. So she said that she asked Simone not to make comments about her children. Simone, if you out there, girl, if you're listening, did Jefferi's reach out to you before she left this comment and ask you to not say anything else referencing her kids? Because if she reached out to you like she said she did, but Jefferi be lying, so child, we don't know. Then I could understand part of the frustration, right? But something's telling me that Simone didn't click on a $60 website. I'm just saying. Something in my gut is saying, no, she didn't click on the $60 website.
about someone. So that's that. And, you know, I just, like I said, I want everybody to not about this show. I've only Creole Mom. Sorry, I was just reading the comments before I go. I'll answer a couple comments that is in regards to this, but not Ready to Love. This was not about Ready to Love. Again, I will always speak out about my children. As a mother, I hope you guys would do the same. You know, I first did ask her, don't spread information when it involves children. There was that, you know, pre-post given. And what you took with that was, let me dig a little deeper. And you dug so deep that you found yourself on a budget website that now found yourself into publicly releasing false statements about someone. So, you know, learn from this situation. Take a positive part from this. Don't be so quick to jump just because it's 500,000 people doing it. You're like, oh, I do it too, girl. Let me follow the wave, because you almost always lose. I've always been like that girl where there's like 15 chicks on one side and I'm like over there with the nerds or the ones that they're. I'm truly a lover of all. I've never been a follower. And I just noticed so much of that in the world. And I think it's kind of just like, they don't really know. It's the trend, it's the wave, what we're living. So it's like, I don't take that to heart, but I do take my babies to heart. So guys, I'm sorry if that feels like I shouldn't have made that comment, but I absolutely will when it comes to my babies. So
you people feed you and run with it because you want to have a negative view about a person. Maybe because you were intimidated. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people project so much negativity onto a person. Those are just a couple of things. Erica, do you have anything that people should just take away from
the screen for your, you know, for the satisfaction of my kids? I'm not exploiting my kids and personal paper information for you guys. If I'm saying publicly I was married, please trust and move on from that. I'm still Jefferi. I'm still who I am. So
yeah, if that's not enough for you, then
I'm sorry.
Go
I'm not
seek help.
my kids for you guys. I'm sorry. It's getting weird.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Oh my God, it's weird. Girl, I feel for you.
The screen for your, you know.
I just need to know what Simone said about these kids. I feel like now I need to go watch all these videos so I could really understand, because I need to know. You are lying. I am asking again, which nurse was hanging around with? She was hanging around with the teen parent group that was close. Oh Lord, no, I wasn't supposed to read that. She also said her kids never had a father figure. I feel y'all acting up. So I think there's a lot of commentary. Well, I don't really focus on the commentary around Jefferi and her kids, because just, you know, my thing is like, girl, those your kids, do what you need to do with them. But I will say that Jefferi act like this was to ready to find a stepdad. Okay. Every scene was focused and centered around her being a single mom, focused and centered being around her being a single mom, focused and centered around her being a single mom. Cynthia's a single mom. Sue's a single mom. And I'm sure they have the same intentions when it comes to their kids as she does. And I don't know if it's like using this to pull on the heartstrings. I don't know if it's the editing. But at some point, that can't be all. She did not come for her kids. She spoke on the decisions Jefferi made. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to take accountability for the mistakes that we made. And I feel like her taking those words of mistake as Simone saying, oh, she called my kids a mistake. No, she didn't call your kids a mistake. That's not what she said. that gift statement, but Jeffrey said that it does not matter what anyone says, because if she had the chance to do it all over again, she would still do everything that she did the same exact way so she can get the same exact kids. That's what she said. So if that's how you feel, Jeffrey, stop crying about it. That's my thing. I feel like if that's how you feel, then stop making it a thing. Don't bring up how you were delivering your kids alone. Don't bring up how, all these scenarios that really seem to have affected you in a way really bad. It really affected, you could tell it affected her, and I feel bad for some of, like, you could just tell like some of the things that she went through, and I feel bad for her. But at the same time, when you make statements like that, it's kind of like, I understand what you're trying to say. But at the end of the day, if that's how you really feel, if you would really do everything that you did all over again, then you should be completely happy, completely satisfied, completely being the best version of yourself there is to offer. If you are, because I've been through some things in my life that if I could go back and do all over, I definitely would. I never saw Sue had kids until last week. Jeffrey's put her business in the street. Don't be surprised when somebody comes along and hands it back to you. But that's what I'm saying. How do you expect for us to give commentary? I'm just being honest now. But Jeffrey said her kids don't know what a father feels like. Maybe that's not the case. But Sue and Cynthia said that's probably why she speaks about her children so much. But if you think about the fact that if we're using the timeline and we're using the timeline that was given to us by Simone based on the evictions, and the father of her first two children that she was with for 12 years is on the lease of both apartments, that they I don't know how long he was staying there or not, but he was there to sign the lease. At least he had to be in those kids' life for a certain extent of time. Maybe he's not there now. But I also feel like if you don't want someone to make a comment about something, then maybe you should leave it in the past. Remember Flower Child from last season? Remember how she said, she had been through a lot of things and she never gave out the specifics and stuff like that. And people were like, girl, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. We had nothing else to say. We had no assumptions to be made. We had nothing to go off of because she didn't give us information that she didn't want us to make commentary on or judgment on. Right. We talk about Cynthia. I was just talking about Cynthia the other day about her and her baby father. Like, sir, how you come up here trying to be, Captain Saver Cynthia, when last time we checked, Cynthia said she tired of doing this all by herself. She didn't give details. Y'all are nosy. What do you mean we nosy? All we did, we literally gave commentary or opinions on what we saw. That's it. And if someone makes commentary that you don't necessarily agree with, don't watch it. If someone says something that kind of triggers you or makes you feel some type of way, click off. That's the best thing about YouTube. The best thing about YouTube is that you don't have to watch it. You don't have to sit in it. I watch a lot of different things, and when I watch it, because y'all know I'm messy, I like to watch all the little messy stuff on the YouTube, but I like to watch the YouTube beats and stuff like that. But I don't take no sides because I love it all. I love everybody. When everybody going at everybody, I be sitting there like, oh, this is good. Okay, I don't have a favorite person. I'll be like, oh, she said this. Oh, he said that. Yeah, it's all good for me. I follow everybody, right? But if it ever gets to a point where I feel like it's too much, or I feel disrespected personally by something that they say, you know what I do? Click off. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, once I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go back and see what's going on, I go back. And if not, if I felt serious about something, I let it be. But this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, that the whole thing between Jefferi and Simone, it wasn't just a YouTube thing. This was more personal, which is why both of them handled it the way that they saw fit. Because if someone would have said the same thing to Simone about Jefferi, like, don't say this about someone, da, 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 Simone would have let it pass, because that's just another comment. That's just another person with their opinion, just like me. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, they actually had interaction with each other. They actually sat down and talked to each other. Yes, y'all, please like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video. Hey, y'all, what is going on? Oh, so this is where y'all be at. I got to come up here at 11 o'clock in the morning. Ciao. Like the video. The more you like, the more people come in. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Drop me some yellow hearts if you are watching, but you don't really have nothing to say. You just sitting back in the bushes, just looking. Then go ahead and do that too. But her baby voice that comes in and out, child, not the baby voice that comes in and out. She don't know Jefferi. I didn't say she knows her, but they have interaction with each other. So there are some people, like, she's part of the Ready to Love franchise, which means that they have access to each other. She also was at the first episode of Ready to Love when they sat down and they were talking. That's why Jefferi said that, that's why Simone said in her video to Jefferi, hey, even when I sat down and talked to you, you never once mentioned being married. No, When in Rome is not Jefferi. She just got Jefferi picture. Or When in Rome, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, so don't take it personal. So, but not going for the substance. Okay. So here's my thing. I just feel like I think this should be it. But I don't think it's gonna be it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jefferi insinuated that Simone didn't do her job properly, and she went on a website that was fake, false, and phony, and she got some fake, false information that she put out there. So either Simone probably got some wrong information that she probably, I think Simone's woman enough to apologize for, which is fine. If she did get the marriage situation wrong or not, I think she's woman enough to go up there and say, you know what, I was absolutely wrong about this, but everything else I was right on. Okay. That's fine. I also feel like if she knows for a fact that what she said is true, she probably will come up there and say, sue me then, B. She probably come up there like, no, what you're not about to do is play in my face. Okay. So I feel like this really could go any other way. But I do know that I feel from my presence of like YouTube and being on different channels and experiencing people through the screen, I do feel like Simone, if she did get the marriage thing wrong, I think she'll be woman enough to admit that she was wrong and move on, which is respectful. It'll just have to be what it is. But at the end of the day, that's why I said I don't want to focus on that, or I don't even want to focus on the facts of whoever facts they have. At the end of the day, the way that Jefferi presents herself on the screen, the things that I've heard cast members say about her, the way she acted in this interview is what I'm discussing about Jefferi. Her personality, some of the character traits she displays, that's what turns me off about her in that sense. Not so much like, about her past history, her timeline, and how everything, comes together. It's just like, you can tell she talks about how she's spiritual, she's Christian and God's and everything, but we don't get that presence. We don't see it. When God is on you, he shines through you. In any situation, in any circumstance. So that's the thing that I just sit here and I'm just like, I hear a lot of things, but what I'm seeing is completely different. You know what I mean? Now she better bow out gracefully and and focus on that stepdaddy. So let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all hear at the end where she kind of insinuated or maybe said that she was probably engaged or married? This is what I'm saying. It be the lies. It be the lies. It be the lies for me, child. Okay. If Jefferi and whoever she decided to be with are engaged or about to get married or whatever the case may be, I promise you that it is a stunt, y'all. It'll be 3 months from now. They'll bend them like, oh, we breaking up, or they're gonna quietly stop following each other on Instagram like Dante and Carmen did. You know how they was together, and then next thing you know, they kind of unfollowed each other, and then they split up, and then like 5 months later, one of them made this post, and then somebody made another post, and then it was like, okay, they officially broken up. It's gonna be something like that. So yeah, it'll probably be like, oh, they're engaged, blah 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 blah, and that's probably all we're going to hear about it until someone decides that they want to call that other person out for being crazy, because that's how it works. She wants to be famous. I don't know. Her profile says she's an actress. But that's the one thing that I think that when anyone goes on TV or any platform where you display who you are, you need to be authentically yourself, right? So even when I talk to y'all and I'm like, y'all know I live in the hood, right? So I gotta go get my packages, or y'all know I gotta, like, you always have to be authentically you, because when you try to put on a facade, or you try to, make it seem like everything is so perfect, or everything isn't the way that it looks, it comes off unauthentic, and people see through that. So I do know that everybody comes on Ready to Love for a little bit of exposure. I'm not mad at it. I accept the fact that a lot of them realize that they could come on Ready to Love to get some exposure, to see what's out there. And if they just so happen to fall in love, then that's a plus. But if not, then it is what it is. But I do want to say, based on my assumption, because Jefferi did say that she feels as though all the men love her and all the men want her and she's being chosen every time, I did want to bring up the fact, like, I don't understand how everyone loves you and you're being chosen, but you're not chosen. If you are always being chosen, you should be somebody's wife right now. Right? Or you shouldn't be on Ready to Love looking for love if you've been being chosen everywhere. Which way? So don't come up there acting like you're better than anyone. That's the complex that I don't like, y'all. I don't like that I'm better than you complex. That's the part that gets me, especially when you're sitting in a room full of accomplished, successful women. Who don't have to put on for the camera because they know they got something else really going on. It's a dig. That's what I'm saying. She digs at things. Can we dissect if we believe her with the Blake situation? I told y'all how I feel about her in that Blake situation. I feel like, child, not again. I feel like Blake, Blake, I didn't change my mind on the fact that I believe that Blake has some manipulative ways. I do think that he wanted to make a pact with Jefferi, just saying that them two will probably stick it out and make it to the end. Not necessarily, I'm choosing you, you're going to be the one for me, but more so on the lines of, like, let's just, take this thing to the end. Kind of like how I feel he's doing with Sue-Ann. Like, him and Sue-Ann they locked in. They locked in. And I think that's what he was trying to do with Jefferi, and Jefferi didn't like it. Like, she was like, it's fake, it's phony, da da da, and she probably called it out. She called it out. Do I think it was as intense as what it was? Like, he was texting her, he was calling her, he was doing all those things. I'm just going to have to stick with what Marcia said when Marcia was up here. Marcia said she feels as though if all these things happen, the same way I said, I feel as though if all these things happen, there would be some type of proof. I am so tired of people saying all these things, but they don't want to ever show the receipts. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. So then stop making accusations. If you're not ready to prove to people, don't make accusations. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't get it. If he's texting you this and he's telling you that, then go ahead and just show it so we can dead this out right now. If your own castmates are saying that some of them don't believe you, or they would just feel like, then just go ahead and show it, then it is what it is. That's how I feel about that whole situation with her and Jeffrey, with him and Blake, because I don't think she full out lied about everything that happened, but I do feel like there was a little bit of 20 put on 10. Same thing, like we saw her interaction with DeMario, so you could tell that what happened, the way she explained it, is kind of what happened. So I don't want to discredit her completely and say, oh no, that's not what happened, but we talking about something that we did not see, which is part of the confusion, which is why it makes me so agitated when people want to make accusations or want to say things about people that they could just prove. Pull out the notebook like Monique did on the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Well, let me put, is your number, Oh, okay. And did you say da? Okay. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't walk around letting someone call me a liar if I have the receipts to prove it. Yeah, I think she jazzed it up a little bit. She put a little bit of sauce on it, just a little bit of sauce. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. Every time y'all send me a super sticker or join the membership, I feel like a real YouTuber. Thank you, Miss Bell. So I do feel like there is some truth to it, but but you got to remember we're working with Blake and Jeffrey. You got to remember we're working with both of them. And Jeffrey and Morgan are friends. So if they're friends, we already know birds of a feather flock together. But yeah, so that's just how I felt about the whole situation. And at this point, I didn't want to focus on what's true and what's not true, because it doesn't really matter. It's not going to get us anywhere. But what I can speak on is that the personality and some of the character traits that we saw last night that really kind of just made me feel some type of way. Because even if I am pissed off or upset or I want to get my point across, there's a way to do it. And I'm not mad if that's how you choose to do it, but just make it clear that is how you want to do it. If I come in and say, I'm letting y'all know now, this is not going to be a nice live. I made it very clear to y'all that this is not going to be a nice live, right? So y'all know what to expect. If I come in and say, this is not going to be a rebuttal, but then I start cursing and yelling at everybody in the chat, it's definitely a rebuttal. You can respond however you want, but just make it clear so we can understand what's happening. Don't be mad when someone's saying it's a rebuttal and you're yelling it's not a rebuttal when it's clearly a rebuttal. Oh yeah, get back to work. All right, y'all. I gotta go finish my video for Dr. Stacy for Put a Ring on It so that I can get that up for y'all. Y'all, Dr. Stacy is a well-rounded woman, and I like her. I think we're going to have fun with her this season for Put a Ring on It. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I'll be back and talk to you guys later. If anything comes up, I'll keep you guys updated, or maybe we'll hop on another live. But I definitely will keep you guys all in the loop. So don't worry about it. Go back to work, go hang out, go take a nap, go do whatever you got to do, work out. And I'll keep you updated. So you ain't even got to look for it. Okay. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate you all for hanging out with me this morning. Don't forget, like the video. If you're catching a replay, drop me some yellow hearts and let me know that you was here. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.